This is one of those very underutilized, extremely tasty meats. And if you live outside the United States, you probably are more likely to eat this than we are here. It's fantastic wherever you are. And I'm going to show you guys an easy and amazing way to cook this. It's holiday time, so we're doing leg of lamb Chris Cookin' Nashville style. So I know this might look a little bit funky right now. This is actually a leg of lamb that has had the bone already taken out. I decided to go ahead and dry brine this. You're gonna see some clips of this, but all I did was trim off some of the excess fat from the outside of the leg and salted it really heavily on both sides because this is a big chunk of meat. We need plenty of salt to get the flavor into the leg of lamb. And dry brining it and adding that salt is gonna do a couple of things. Number one, this is gonna help tenderize the meat when we cook it, which of course makes it more enjoyable to eat. The other thing it's going to do is it's gonna put that salinity all the way through, which is going to actually aid in balancing out the gamey flavor that you might find in lamb. Some people are not huge fans of lamb because of the extra gamey flavor. I really like it, but sometimes it's a little much for some people. Doing the dry brine like this, getting that salt all the way through, plus the way we're going to season and cook this is going to make a big difference in the gaminess of the meat. So let me show you how we get this thing prepared. It's going to serve a lot of people, so let's go ahead and get it ready, put it in the oven. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this under a broiler, and I'm going to use the broiler to brown the top side here. This is the outer part of the leg. If the lamb leg you are cooking has the bone still inside, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're just going to have to roll it every couple of minutes to try to get it to brown all around the outside. Other than that, is the exact same process. So I'm going to put this under the broiler. I'm just going to start getting it to brown and crisp on top. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Shouldn't take more than probably 5 to 7 minutes to get a nice brown outer layer of this, and then I'll pull it back out. I'll show you why I have butcher's twine and a pair of scissors and get it nice, tender, and juicy all the way through. While my lamb is under the broiler starting to brown, I just wanted to take a second and shout out my buddy Brett over at Chili Pepper Forge. He made this amazing custom chef's knife for me with Damascus steel. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna put his information down in the description box for you guys. If you would like to get something really special for someone in your life that loves to cook, reach out to Brett. He does all of these amazing blades, and he does them with old school blacksmith style technique. We're going to use the knife to carve our lamb tonight. I'm really excited because it's the very first time I'm using this incredible knife. So thank you so much, Brett from Chili Pepper Forge, an amazing craftsman. This knife is beautiful. I cannot wait for it to become a regular feature in my kitchen. Let's go check on that lamb. So this has just come out from under the broiler. We have a little bit of charring on some of that fat on top. That's fantastic. It's going to be flavor. Color equals flavor when it comes to something like this with your leg of lamb. Now you can also do this on a grill. If you have it really, really hot, you could char it on all sides, get those nice grill marks and brown it, and then get it off that grill really quickly so it does not cook through. I'm gonna let this sit here for a little bit and cool down enough that I can handle it. And then we're gonna use our butcher's twine and scissors, and we're gonna tie it up into a pretty little parcel before we prepare it for the rest of the baking. So this is 1 head of garlic. I took all of the garlic cloves, peeled them, cut off the little nub end of it, and I sliced them into slices. We're going to use garlic cloves to do a garlic studded leg of lamb. If you don't eat garlic, you can totally do this recipe without it, but if you do, this is a really great way to not only make it taste amazing, to also take care of some of that gamey flavor. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna roast them in a skillet with just a little bit of butter, just until they start to turn slightly golden brown, and then we can go ahead and garlic stud and tie up our leg of lamb. Now that the garlic is toasted and ready to go for us to make this garlic studded lamb, I would be missing a major opportunity if I did not go ahead and season the inside of the meat. So I'm gonna flip this over and expose the inner portion here, and I'm gonna show you a few spices that I'm gonna use. All of these are completely optional. You season this however you like, or don't use any seasonings at all, but this is what I'm gonna do to make it a little more Christmassy. I'm gonna put a light sprinkle of nutmeg over top. I'm gonna do the same with allspice. Next is cinnamon and some parsley. Now I'm just gonna roll the lamb leg back together. The bone was taken out of the center, so we're gonna roll it back up and I'm gonna tie it together and truss it so that it stays in that rolled shape as we bake it. Now very carefully, without cutting the butcher's twine, I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna start putting small incisions into the lamb and then taking these roasted slices of garlic and sticking them down into that little incision. I'm gonna do that all across the surface, all the way around, and then it's ready to go in the oven. Now that this is studded with garlic, I'm just gonna flip it over again. I'm gonna take the rest of this garlic butter that I have from roasting those garlic cloves and pour it over the top. And we can stick this in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. I'm going to use my Tyfer Sync Gold Dual to track the temperature. You can use any kind of thermometer, or you can even just try to time it if you want. It's a little tough to do that and get it cooked perfectly, so I would recommend a probe thermometer. I will link the Tyfer down below in case you're in the market for one. I'm gonna take this to about 135 degrees because lamb is a very fatty, lovely meat, but I want to get it a little bit more rendered out. So I'm going to take this to 135 degrees internal temperature and let it rest for about 5 minutes before carving. I'll let you know how long that takes. It looks great, it smells great. It took it just about an hour to get to temperature. Make sure to check your internal temperature depending on how you like it cooked and what size of leg of lamb you are cooking. If you're cooking one with the bone in it, it will probably take a little bit longer to get to whatever temperature you want it to. All we need to do is cut off the butcher's twine. Let's carve it up. Let's give it a taste. All right, that's how we do the roasted leg of lamb. This is gonna be fun. You can customize the seasoning on this however you want, so you can use whatever you like. I just did sort of a Christmassy version for us here today, but the garlic cloves all around the outside are one of the greatest things that you can do with a leg of lamb like this. So I'm excited to see how this tastes. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely. It smells so good.
Help yourself. Let's see what you think.
All right. I can already tell it's really tender. Mmm. Super good, super juicy, super tender. The garlic cloves in there, how you have that? Delicious. Not overpowering, just you can tell it adds a nice flavor. It honestly tastes like Christmas dinner. I like lamb, but I don't like gamey meat. And I feel like sometimes it's hard for me, like when I go out to eat or different situations, if you serve lamb to me, it's like, it's just too gamey for me. And it's like, I like it, but I don't. After a bite or two, I'm kind of like, nah. This though actually does not taste gamey to me at all. So I think this is super awesome. I mean, honestly, are you making this for Christmas dinner? Because I'd be okay with that.
I could totally do that.
Yeah.
Doing the dry brining as well as the combination of the spices and the garlic, that really helps kind of combat that more gamey flavor that lamb can sometimes have, and it makes it really enjoyable. And then the gaminess actually kind of blends in with everything you put in there, and it actually becomes more of an enjoyable flavor that you can really savor the way lamb tastes different than something like, say, beef. Well, there you go, guys. That's how we do a roast leg of lamb. We have a bunch more holiday stuff coming for you guys. We appreciate all of you being here.